so on to our last group of reptiles. I'd say that this is also my favorite, but I've already said that twice. So we're going to talk about crocodilians, which includes alligators, crocodiles, caimans, and then there's another species too. So the one that we have here in America is, of course, the American alligator. So we're going to be talking about them today. Really cool animals. We don't have any here in Maine, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at that. But I think they're really awesome. So alligators, a very ancient species, sometimes referred to as living fossils because they have been around since about the time of the dinosaurs, and they really haven't changed too much. They're that well adapted. They are obviously carnivorous. We can tell that looking at their teeth. They're also masters of camouflage, so they can get very big. I've seen an alligator that I think was 16 feet. Yeah, I think about 16. Can be huge animals. But even though they get very big, they can be very hard to see in the water, and that's because they submerge themselves. And if we look, we can see the placement of the eyes and the nostrils. So if we see, the eyes are on top of the head, and the nose, the actual nostril holes, are also on the top. And so they can completely submerge themselves except for their eyes to see and their nose to breathe, and they can be almost undetectable. Now, if you are a scientist, out studying alligators, you probably want to know how big the alligator you're looking at is, and how can you tell that if they are submerged underwater? Well, they figured out a trick. They realized that about for every inch between the eyes and the nostrils equals about 1 foot of alligator. So if there's 10 inches between the eyes and the nostrils, that means the alligator is probably about 10 feet. Here there looks to be about 6 or 7 inches between the eyes and the nostrils. So this alligator would have been 6 or 7 feet. So pretty good sized alligator. Now, a question I get all the time is, how do you tell the difference between an alligator and a crocodile? So we can do that just by looking at their skull, at their nose. So alligators have a shorter snout, and their nose tends to be more rounded. Crocodiles have a longer snout and it's sharper. It's more like a V. This makes more of a U. So that's the biggest way to tell the difference between an alligator and a crocodile. The other really, really cool thing about this animal that I wanted to talk about just a little bit is they are one of the only reptiles that provide parental care. So this big, fierce-looking animal is actually one of the few reptiles that takes care of its babies. Most reptiles lay their eggs and then mama leaves, and that's it. Babies are on their own when they hatch. Case in point, sea turtles. The mother lays about 100 eggs, maybe 10% of those make it to the water because the mom leaves and she doesn't defend them anymore. Alligators, though, are very good mothers. So alligators, like all reptiles, they lay their eggs on land. Mom makes a nest for them, and she lays them in the ground and covers them with twigs and leaves and other plant debris. And that plant debris, as it starts to deteriorate, creates heat, and that keeps the nest nice and warm. And the mother alligator can actually help regulate the temperature of that nest, and that's important because alligators, the sex of the egg, the sex of the alligator that's going to hatch, depends on the temperature that it's kept at. So females will incubate at lower temperatures than males. So the temperature that those eggs are kept at is very important. Now, when the egg starts to hatch, so baby alligators have what's called an egg tooth, and they use that to kind of get their way out of the eggshell. It can take a little while, it takes a lot of energy. And when they break through, they make a little calling noise, a very faint calling noise that the mother hears, and the mother comes and digs them out. And then the mom will carry her babies to water in her mouth. And this ginormous sharp-toothed mouth, they actually carry their babies very gently and carry them to water. And if they need to move from one water source to another, they'll carry their babies to a new water source. Mother alligators will defend their babies, so they'll stay, very close to their nests, very close to their newborn hatchlings. Alligators are known to feed off of other smaller alligators. So she spends a lot of time defending her babies, and she will take care of those for about a year, as long as they stay with her. So, alligators, fierce looking creature, very good parents. All right. Well, that kind of concludes our little reptile bit. Next series, we're going to be talking about the coast and coastal Maine, and I'll see you guys then. Bye.